Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller. And today, y'all, we forgot to bring the camera with us and I hadn't done all of the videos, i.e. the what solds before we had left because it was too soon to get them done. And so we're behind. We're just a little behind. This video is for the week before last, Monday through Thursday, because I'm behind. May 27th through the 30th, Monday through Thursday. And y'all, again, I'm not quite sure what's going on. Allergies, seasonal allergies, but I was sick earlier in May. I don't know how it happened, but I ended up with pneumonia, and then I think it's just the change of state and allergies and all of that. But we're back, and hopefully this is going to clear up sooner than later. But yeah, I can't win for losing sometimes. I'm taking vitamins. I am. I'm trying to stay ahead of this, but just don't know what's up with all this. But, like I said, we're back from our vacation, spending time with Robert's mom and family. Did a little sourcing. We went to the bins, well, like a half a day, but I wasn't feeling well. And then we went back on another day, met up with Laura for lunch again. That was so nice. I like bouncing ideas off of other people. So it was a very informative lunch. She's helped me kind of solidify a few things in my brain. I think I'm going to keep up with Etsy. I just need to get more stuff on there, and we'll see how the year goes. And then, y'all, we went to an outlet, a Goodwill outlet in Jacksonville, Illinois. We've been there once before because everybody was telling me there was so much plush there. And when we went there, there wasn't plush. There wasn't. So we had gone to one of those highway type sales in Illinois. One of my viewers, Jenna, had sent me a link about it, so we just decided to go ahead and go do that on Friday. Found some amazing stuff, but man, it was hot. And then on our way home, we decided to stop at the Jacksonville one, and this one is no children under the age of 16 are allowed in there. And believe it or not, we got there at like 4 maybe in the afternoon, and there was hardly anybody there. And this is not an exaggeration. They have these bins that are like this big, but they're taller than me. They're plastic, but then the one side is cut out, and there was 20 of them with plush. I was basically started at the beginning, got big stuff out that I knew I didn't want, dug through it, found some treasures, lots of treasures. It's like nobody that does plush had been there because I found a lot of good stuff. And then I would start the next bin and I would start throwing stuff over into that bin, and then so I could get down into the bottom of it. Finally, Robert took pity on me and he would go to the bin ahead of mine, get the big stuff out of the way, and then scooch all of the small plush up one side so that I could just start moving it the other way. It took forever. It took forever. Not only did they have 20 of them, then they had these large, hampers. But I mean, there is this wide, but they were down to the ground, full of plush, and I think they had 6 of them. I found such great stuff. 2 heaping grocery carts full of stuff. And y'all, I stuck with my just say no's for a lot of it. You know me, I'm always going to make some exceptions for some of the vintage stuff, but it was, I'm definitely going to put that one on the list to go to every time we go to Missouri because, we didn't even go through the regular bins. They had tons of clothing bins and tons of hard goods. But all the plush, I guess, as it went through, I'm not sure if when they brought stuff out, they came out in those only, or did they put them in the regular bins and then pitch them over into that. But I mean, I found slumberkins and vintage plush and tons of loveys, tons of character plush. Like I said, 2 heaping carts full. And it was, I think it was the same as the Nashville Benz price. It was $1.59 a pound, where St. Louis is now $2.09 a pound. Found some good stuff at St. Louis also. We didn't bring our trailers, so, you know, that's why we only went technically 1.5 days. Because I knew we may be going back in a month or so, so haven't decided yet, but sorry. But let's get into this what sold. I got a couple of topics to talk about while we're going through them also. Couple of sales on Mercari. Mercari is picking up for me a little bit. Most of these were bread and butter sales, but I have sold, I want to say 2 or 3 high dollar things on there. They'll be in, you know, later videos, but yeah, it's picking up for me. The first thing that sold on Mercari was this Thai brown bear plush from 1992, and it sold for $12.15. This Fisher-Price Little People yellow bus, must have had a couple of them because there's a number 1 on there, and it sold for $8.10. That's kind of how I differentiate, especially for eBay that doesn't like duplicate listings. If I have multiple of the same item, but they're in different conditions or something slightly different about them, I'll usually tag a little number 1, number 2 on the end of my listings. But the Little People bus sold for $8.10. I don't know if I remembered to say that. All right. I don't know why my picture's scooched. All right. This is a Gund Head and Tails Green Dog Rattle Plush. Sold for $6.30. And this yellow rabbit plush bunny with the fleece jacket sold for $6.30. The good thing with Mercari now is when something sells for $6.30, we are no longer paying any fees. So that is how much I got from that sale. So almost all of them were old listings, so I'm glad to see them moving right along. All right, only had 1 sale on Posh. Posh has died for me. But these were some Croc women's ballet slippers, and they sold for $15. Really, really good sales on eBay. For those of you who are new to my channel, I don't offer free shipping on any of the platforms. So when I say like this item on eBay sold for $17.71, the buyer also paid additional for shipping. All right, first thing that sold was this Soft Surroundings women's shirt. And it, like I said, sold for $17.71. And then funny story about this, y'all. This is an itty bitty. Most itty bitties don't sell for a whole lot. They sell better when you put them in lots. And I had found we must have been going through bins bags. I had quite a few itty bitties that I needed to list. I had quite a few lots listed, and they were mostly mix and match. And so I decided I took all of them down, and I ended them, resorted them, and relisted them. Well, I guess initially when I listed this, I wasn't paying attention to who it was. Probably hadn't Google Lensed it. And when I did Google Lens it to figure out what lot I should put it with, it was a higher dollar plush that I had in a lot for like maybe $25 for a lot of 5 of them or something like that. So betcha I went ahead and listed this all by itself. This is Babe the Blue Ox from Paul Bunyan, and it sold for $26.95. Definitely Google Lens all your plush. Definitely. All right, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. This sold for $26.95. While we were on vacation, I did get a message from the buyer just basically informing me that their package was going on a scenic route to them. It had left Tennessee, she said, got to about an hour to the post office that was about an hour from her home, and then it decided to go to New York, New Jersey, New York, New Jersey. So I went into the USPS website. You can request notifications on updates for your items, which I think I've showed that in a previous video. And lo and behold, it got delivered this weekend. So when you get messages like that, just go do that notification. I just have them start sending me messages on everything that's happening with the item, and almost always it gets unstuck and starts moving in the right direction. So thankfully, I haven't even checked though. Don't think she had opened up a case, so that's a good thing. But $26.95. All right, proper men's uniform shirt. Picked these up at a yard sale, I think last summer, and I want to say we paid $1 each for a bunch of these uniform shirts and pants, and this one sold for $15. One of these things I'm not going to pick up. You know, I like to pick up a lot of character plush, especially when we're at the bins. I don't always check to see if they're worthwhile. They're characters. I figure I'm going to learn something while I do my research. Not one of the ones that I would pick up again. I guess the show is Cute Life, Jif Palm. Don't know. I had 2 of them I decided to put together in a lot. Took forever. Forever to sell, and they sold for $8. All right, Monster Jam's been picking a lot of these up at the bins. This one is by Spin Master. It was called the Mutt Dalmatian, and it sold very quickly for $8.96. This was from, I'm not quite sure why this all scooched over, y'all, my prices. This was from the box of My Little Pony stuff that I picked up at a recent estate sale with our friends Daryl and Dwayne. And I did a video on how I use Google Lens to sort through everything. This actually was a shell cushion that goes to the She-Ra Crystal Waterfall. Sold very quickly for $15. Liz Claiborne women's jeans sold for $11.23. Stephen Baby Black Bear Plush, another brand I probably will no longer pick up unless it's just something very unique, cute, multicolored, color block, that type of stuff, maybe. But otherwise, this again took a very long time, but it still sold for $10, which to me, $10 for a plush is pretty good. Returns. This is coming back to me. These were Spring Step Lartice Desi women's shoes. Sold for $40. I had paid, I want to say $5 at a yard sale. But y'all, I've had 16 returns since March, which I think if you add that all out, it's about 1 a week, which isn't great. But here's the deal. I'm still, you know, it's still worth it to me to get the 10% off my final value fees by offering free returns. The thing also is, because I offer free returns, most people, well, for me, none of these were opened up as cases against me. They were no items not as described, defective, damaged, none of that. They were changed my mind, you know, didn't like, doesn't fit. And y'all, it's not all clothes. It's even plush. These shoes. But that being said, I don't give them their return shipping. I mean, I don't give them their original shipping. So it's not as big a hit, and I don't get a defect by offering these free returns. Does it suck? Yes. But I'll get it back and I'll relist. And of those 16, technically, I want to say 3 or 4 of them. One was an international eBay order. eBay took care of it, you know, without me having to refund the person. Then there were 3 that never returned my items. So again, it's in the group, but you know, I got to keep the money and the item never came back to me. But I'm okay with all of this because most of this is going to come back. Yes, I'm out the return shipping, but I'll just resell it, and you know, I'll still be making a profit on all of this stuff. So, you know, yeah, I'm not quite sure why there are so many returns, but I'm still just grateful that none of them are being unscrupulous liar buyers, is my favorite word, about saying something's wrong with something because they don't want to pay return shipping. All right. Next, Columbia men's shirt sold for $10.57. Another old listing. Selling lots of my old stuff, which I'm very happy about. These next two, not high dollar, but they're just little small figures that were in my profit piles. This was a Star Wars Yoda figure, $6. And then, y'all, this is missing parts. But I just went ahead and listed it, $6.95. And this person sent me an offer for $5.63. You know, I'm of the mentality, for the most part, you know, I've got it. I've paid a little bit for it. I might as well list it, especially if it's something that, you know, collectible like this. Somebody who may have bought this item and one of the legs is broken on it, and now they're getting to buy the part they need to complete their figure. Aurora Pink Dog Plush. Again, $13.45. I like buying the plush that are just different colors than the normal, the hot colors, the pastel colors, that type of stuff. I tend to pick them up when normally it might be a brand that I'm backing off of. So this was just one of those instances, and it took about 4 months to sell, but it sold. Disney Animators Lilo and Stitch plush. Now, a lot of the cloth Lilo and Stitch, and even some of the other Disney Princess dolls, don't sell for a whole lot. But when I Google Lens this, I realized it's under the Disney Animators series, and she sold, it took about 5 months, but she sold for $40. Thinking I picked this up at the bins. Probably, I want to say when we were out in Nashville another time. It just kind of rings a bell with me. I liked it because it had the cute face. It was a witch. I like picking up Halloween type plush. And she ended up selling for my full asking price of $29.95. Anytime you have one of the plush that kind of has a beaded bottom and the legs will, you know, hang over on something, I call them shelf sitters. Now, I had these in my profit pile, a whole box of just pieces and parts that went to some of the Fisher-Price play sets. I ended up having 3 of these. These were just a door that goes to the Fisher-Price Great Adventures Western Town. Y'all, a lot of times people will pick these up and those pieces have been removed or broken. A lot of times they're going to be slow sellers because you are looking for that person who's looking for this item. But still, it sold. The first one now has sold for $15 for just a door. I picked up a bag of American Girl items when we were out at the Peaches to the Beaches, and come to find out the rest of the set was Welly Wishers, like a cotton candy setup, play set. But these 4 items were also in that bag, and come to find out they went to the bowling alley set. So I went ahead and listed them separately, and they sold very quickly. Just the 2 plates, 2 pretzels for $10. Target Pink Pig plush. Again, listed this back in March. Probably was from a Ben's bag, and it had little swirls in it. I try to put that word in there a lot of times if it's that fabric just kind of has a different type of texture. And it sold for $15. Pieces and parts to small appliances. Now, I'm about sick of listing this stuff, but we still have some more, and we picked up some more of them also while we were on our trip, because they sell. They sell. Not the funnest things to list, but easy to ship, easy to pack. So definitely worth spending the time. but this is from a Hamilton Beach food processor. It was just the holder and 2 blades, and it sold for $11.66. Tie Pluffies, love picking them up. Most of them are going to be bread and butter with a few exceptions. This elephant was from 2002 and he sold for $11.66. Target Gray Elephant Plush, 12-inch from 2018. I like picking up Target Plush and the Circle Plush, and this one sold for $12. Just picked these up, I want to say at the Nashville bins. I found a baggie of these Think and Learn replacement music pods for the Rocktopus. There were 14 of them, and they sold very quickly for $17.95. Melissa and Doug Brown Dog Plush. Not something I'm going to continue to pick up, but for the most part, Melissa and Doug are slow sellers for me. These had been listed for quite a while and finally sold for $9.50. I want to say I picked this several clown figures up at the 100-mile yard sale that we went to last year. You know, it was one of those situations I wanted to help the seller out. She just had a variety of stuff, and so I picked out a couple of these clowns. They're from Kay's collection. I think a lot of Kay's collection was sold at like Dollar Trees and Dollar General and stuff like that. It had its original tag, and it sold for $10. Levi's women's capri jeans, $11.26. VeggieTales. This, I had 2 of these that I had picked up, I want to say at the bins. They had different condition. You know, they a lot of times have paint rubs on them and marks and stuff. So I had listed them separately. I think I've sold both of them now. This particular 3-inch Larry Boy figure sold for $17.05. A Becca homeschool curriculum. I'm not sure if this was from, let me see. Yeah, Robert picked up a tote of these at a yard sale last summer. Paid $40 for a full tote. And I think I've sold most of it. This set of grade 3 science stuff sold for $31. This was from my favorite little estate sale company where I bought a bunch of Wizard of Oz stuff. Again, I think I've sold almost all of it now. These were some pin back buttons from 1966, it said. I showed the sides. I'm sure that was like a trademark date or something like that. But nevertheless, the set of 4 sold for $17. Despicable Me Minions plush, character plush. I like picking them up. Sometimes I put them in lots. This particular one sold in a couple of months for $11. Torrid Feel the Fit women's shorts sold for $15. Gibson Greetings Clown Bear plush, 1993, sold for my full price of $9.95. It's been listed since last summer, which means I had done an end and sell similar, which I do every day with all of my listings. Not all of them. Those that are expiring that day, I do an end and sell similar before they renew automatically. That way they are fresh, and I just seem to have really good results by doing that. And this sold before it started the next sale for $9.95. Fork, spoons, knives, little ceramic utensil holder by Home Essentials sold for $12.12. Ann Taylor women's pullover cashmere sweater, $20. Gund Bear Hand Puppet Plush from 1988 sold for $12. Again, it was an old listing. Build-A-Bear. I pick up a lot of Build-A-Bear at the bins, at yard sales, anytime I just find loose pieces. And then I make these small lots, and this one sold in a couple of months for $10. Mini Angel Food tube cake pans. I had found a box of stuff that I bought, I want to say 2 summers ago. It was a lot of vintage, like Wilton cake decorating stuff, and just I found several really unique things in this box that I had just set aside, never had gotten to. This was one of the items that was in there. It was like this tall, full of just cake decorating stuff and vintage cookbooks and just a whole variety of stuff. But these sold very quickly. There were many tube cake pans. Don't use the word bunt unless it is Nordic ware. Just words of warning. They were only like 3 3/4 inch across, and they sold for $10.49. Dana Buckman sleeveless blouse top. Don't know. It had its original tags. Sold in about 6 months for $8. Again, it's just another example. I have it. I'm going to go ahead and list it. Fiesta Oliver Raccoon. This is from the characters from Great Wolf Lodge. And he sold for $11.44. Playskool Dollhouse vintage TV. Sometimes I'll put the dollhouse stuff in small lots, but always check, because some of these will sell very well all by themselves, and then you can lot up the stuff that's, you know, only worth a couple of dollars each. I listed this back in March, and it sold for $12.10. LuLaRoe. We ended up with a bag of this stuff. Probably from the bins or from a yard sale where we got it for really cheap. But this little midi polka dot skirt sold for $15.01. Soft Dreams. Now, I love the vintage Soft Dreams stuff, but this is more contemporary. It lights up. It's musical. Probably won't pick these up anymore. They took a very, very long time to sell. And it's a unicorn, and I'm just saying no to unicorns these days. But it did finally sell for $11.66. Kelly Toy. Again, Purple Rabbit. You know I'm going to pick it up. I've had several in this style. They're just kind of cute. They've got the little hands that are up, and then just the legs hang loosely. Long ears. This one was from 2017, and it sold for $10. Don't think I'm going to pick these up anymore. There was a time when, you know, lots of people were saying this is a good thing to pick up. It's those popcorn plastic melting things. This one was from Cage Company, and it took forever. And they are a pain to ship. This one sold for $17.51. What we do when we ship these is we wrap it in bubble wrap and then find a long box that's flat, stick it in there, and tape up the sides. A lot of times though, if it's much bigger than this, then you're going to start getting into those longer, the extra cost that USPS places on these items, because, you know, it's beyond whatever that inch is. 20 inches, 22 inches, 24 inches. I don't remember. Robert will probably put it up there. I just know there's at some point you get a $4 like assessment onto your shipping costs, and then when it gets to another one, it's like $15 more. So I think I'm gonna steer clear of these. Walgreens. I tend to pick up most Walgreens, some Rite Aid, CVS, just really depends. Probably not another one that I will pick up in the future. It was just from 2019. They're actually reversible. The elephant would stuff up into the giraffe and vice versa. Took a while to sell. Well, 3 months. Sold for $8.96. I think these next 4 are my nice sales that I wanted to share. Right, Robert picked this up. This is Raise the Titanic game. Don't remember where he picked this up. It could have been a Ben's pickup. It could have been an estate sale. There was tape on the box. It was complete. We did check it. And even in my description there, I say the game box has wear, damage, and tape. But it sold for our full asking price of $49.95. Constructs. I will stand at a bin and dig constructs out. I do very well with it. This one was a plastic case. I mean, it had some, not a whole lot, but it did have, I think, some unique pieces. So anybody who collects constructs would be interested in, you know, adding this to their collection. But it sold at my full price of $49.95 also. Then those magazines, y'all. I held on to these for years. Finally forced myself to sort through all of them. I started putting them, if I had enough, you know, like this one's 1981. If I had enough in that series, then I would make a lot of them. But this set sold for $69.95. And they had some condition issues, which I showed in the pictures. You know, I have on there somewhere to cover, some creases, mailing labels still attached. But here's my best sale of the 4-day period. Robert's fan that he picked up. This was a Vornado fan, 2-speed. Right there's the model number 16C2-1. It was working. I showed it working in a video. And it sold in, less than a month for the full price of $129.95. I don't remember how much we paid for it. $5 or $10, I think, at an estate sale. Or the bins. All right, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to get another video made as long as my voice keeps up with me. And so we'll probably be getting this video out Monday night, the next one out Tuesday night, and then we'll have some haul videos to share with you, and then we'll be back on track. All right, y'all, time to get to work. Bye.